up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and this is your, I'm about to say real Love and Hip Hop family reunion. I don't know what episode this is. Came on last night, had to watch it. So I can get down here. I was going to save it to tomorrow, but I was like, I need to do 2 videos. I got up a little earlier today, so I was like, I need to knock out 2 videos this morning. So we start off where we left off, and Peter, they're in Peter's room. They're in Peter's hotel room. That's where I started doing. I said, Peter says he had a gay woman raise him, a lesbian woman raised him. And so that's what he was saying. They were all sitting around. Yo-Yo was there, Amina was there, Rich was there, Peter was there, and he was like, that can ruin me. I'm a felon. I'm not a high school grad. I mean, he's just every stereotype, right? That is that aligns with a black man. That's what Peter Gunn's, a rapper. You got a bunch of children. You just are the straight black man pathology embodied. Okay. Peter Guns is no education, a criminal record. You a rapper, right? Had a little success, got a little money. You got kids all over the place. Have never been married. I mean, I don't know if that was, I guess. Okay, he married Amina, and nothing's fake about that. Okay. But at the end of the day, he says he stands on that. And this is what I say about parenting with humility. Even though someone is telling you that what you did is potentially harmful to the development of your child, you say that you stand on that. Even though you know how potentially harmful it is to be anti-gay or homophobic, and to the fact where you get upset and you leave a room because you know how harmful it is and what it can do to your career, when you're sitting there fully aware that you don't have a high school education, you are a convicted felon, you don't have any, only thing you can really do is own your own business or be in entertainment, and you an old ass man. So you know how harmful it is to have anti-gay or in an intolerance to homosexuality. Is something wrong. Or actually, you know what? I'm just going to skip right over the homophobia, and I'm going to go right directly on to the femphobia, because you didn't like it because it was pink, and you didn't like it because that would represents femininity, and then you don't want your boy to be in anything feminine. You know how harmful it is to even say it, and for somebody to even suggest that you can be homophobic. You leave the room, you storm out. But when you sit in there, you say, I stand on that. You have no humility. That's why parents inadvertently, because they do not operate from a space of humility, you think you know everything. You think the way that you think is correct. You don't think that what you did is potentially harmful and can send negative messaging to your child. You don't care. You stand on not allowing your child to wear a pink ladybug. That's what you're standing on. That's the hill you're going to die on. That's what you're choosing to stand on. Instead of stepping out of it and being like, you know what? It is kind of ridiculous to be like, I don't want my kid to wear a pink ladybug costume because it's for girls. So what's wrong with girls? Because if your daughter wanted to be a football player, I'm sure you wouldn't have a problem with going to find her a jersey and a helmet, would you? I'm sure if she wanted to be a lumberjack, you wouldn't have any problem going to find her red and black lumberjack with a hat to match and some Timbs. I'm sure and getting her an axe. I'm sure you wouldn't have no problem. But when the boy wants to wear pink with little polka dots and little antennas and wants to be the cutest little ladybug, you are like, that's for girls. So I'm going to skip over the homophobia and I'm going to go right to an intolerance of women and femininity. You have something wrong with that. You have something wrong with that. So let's not say that Peter that's what you did was homophobic. What you did was homophobic. It is. You may not be a homophobe. And I think everybody can agree. I don't think Peter's homophobic, but your ideologies, the way that you think, the way that you've been programmed, you've been taught that pink is for girls. You've been taught it so, and it's embedded and ingrained in you so deeply that you have a fear of it. You don't want your son to be aligned with femininity. There's a fear of femininity. Why? 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 Why don't you want your son to wear a pink ladybug costume? Why? Erica says, well, Amina doesn't really speak up for herself. He says, that could ruin me. Okay, well, you have an awareness that kind of thinking can ruin you, right? Because you know that something is wrong with that. You have to know that something is wrong with saying that you don't want your kid like a 4-year-old. You don't want a 4-year-old to be a happy little ladybug. And then even then, you could have said, yeah, you could be a ladybug. Let's what other color do you want to be? If pink was a problem for you, even that, like, why you tell him he can't be a ladybug at all? He could have been a blue ladybug. I've seen ladybugs with blue colors. He could have been an orange ladybug. He could have been a yellow lady. He could have been orange, a gender neutral color. He could have been a green ladybug. It's a costume. He's a human dressing up as an insect. And you have a problem with him wearing it because it's pink. And you're going to tell me that's not an irrational fear of something? That's crazy. And you too sick to even realize it. You too in your ego to even realize that you're upholding some sick shit. What are you upholding, Peter? What are you upholding? That's what you need to ask yourself. Rich to Amina. He goes and has a conversation with Amina. He tells her, he asks her, are you mad at me, butterfly? Are you mad at me? And she was like, listen, I just felt like I needed to say something. I saw him up there. What did I say? When you see somebody up there, you're performing. You do all of this performance. But at home, in your home, you have an issue with your son wearing a pink ladybug costume. So you sitting up here performing, and some people, a lot of people, and usually empathic people, when they see someone operating in full inauthenticity, sometimes you just got to be like, yo, come on, you're doing the most. Because the other day you said your son wasn't even able to wear a pink ladybug costume. Stop with the drink raising and the flag waving. That's a lie. You're doing a lot. You're doing the most right now. Chill out. Maybe if his expressions weren't so inauthentic, then maybe she wouldn't have said anything. That's how I feel. Like, she probably wouldn't have said anything if he was, raise a glass to that. You know, I support you. I got you. I'm going to pull up and all this other stuff. No, because at home, see, y'all love it when everybody else is gay. But then when your child is gay or trans or bi or lesbian or queer, just queer, y'all, oh no, it's something wrong with it. And you need to ask yourself, who taught you that? Who taught you there's something wrong with being gay? Who taught you that? And why did they teach you that? Why did they teach you that something's wrong with that? Why did they teach you that loving a person the same gender is a sin? Why did they teach you that? Why? Why were you taught that? And why were you taught it so deeply that you are actually enforcing it in your home and teaching it to your child? Now you've taught your child that something's wrong with a boy wearing pink. And then y'all on this slave shit to where it's like, I control my child. You can't have any other expressions than what I teach you until you're 18. You can't express yourself until you're 18. When you get 18 and you want to wear women's clothes, ain't nobody saying he was wearing women's clothes. He was trying to wear a fucking ladybug costume. A ladybug. Y'all really need to talk to your therapist about your issues with gay folks and queer folks. You love them when they're your friends, but when they're in your family, you oust them. You send them out. You cast them out. But ironically, you protect the men who abuse the women. You protect the men who abuse the children. But when the children come out and say, hey, we are the children, you cast them out. You send them on to the wolves, to the men who are abusing little boys. You send them off to be exploited. You do. You send them off into a world that you know, that's the reason why you threw them out. You know, and you threw them into that. When the girl gets pregnant, you throw her out. But when the boy who got her pregnant, he sat home. He's chilling. Nobody's throwing him out. Y'all have an issue. That's issue. Y'all use kids as scapegoats a lot of the times. It's true, you do. Ain't nobody talking about your son. We're talking about the parenting. We're talking about how you parent your son. Nobody's saying anything about your son. Nothing about your son. But you're choosing to use your child as a scapegoat so you can focus on, you said something about my son. No. I'm talking about your behavior. You. Not your kid. You. But you want to use your kid as a scapegoat to distract from the issue because you have no intention of changing because you operate from a space of hierarchy instead of being humble and understanding that what you're doing to your child is potentially harmful. I'm not talking about your child. I'm talking about you. But you want to use your child as a scapegoat. How dare you? What kind of parenting is that? That's even worse, sir. Not only are you enacting and teaching them harmful shit, now you holding them up as a scapegoat so nobody can see you. Here you go. You got your kid. Don't talk about my kid. Don't talk about my kid. Don't talk about my kid. No, we talking about your ass. Stop hanging your kid in front of you and using your child as a scapegoat. It's you practicing harmful parenting. I just had to say something when it was said when Jonathan told us about everything that really touched me, and I felt I needed to say something. Period. Outside, Cisco hugs Sin, and Rich is like, y'all good, yeah, it's good, it's in progress. So they have a drag show. Who was there? Cisco, Rich, and Peter were there. I didn't see Joel Santana. I didn't see him there. I saw was he there? I didn't see him there, but I saw Kimbella there. All the women, most of the women were there. They had a drag show. Bobby and Zell and Jonathan got up on stage and were saying, we're three different types of gay men, and then they were talking about how they have kind of grown in their relationships with each other since they had that kind of that conversation that they had on the previous episode, and Zell saying he really likes the space that he's in with Jonathan. Jonathan goes over and he talks to Peter, and he was like, I'm sorry that I messed up your event or whatever. And he was like, he was like trying to explain. And then Jonathan tells Peter, I know you. I know you're not homophobic or anything like that. But I wish that Jonathan would have said, but Peter, that same thing happened to me. You know that you trying to force your child to wear blue or not wear pink, that doesn't have anything to do with how he feels inside about if he likes girls when he grows up or he's going to like boys when he grows up or neither when he grows up. That how you feel like you have to have control over your child and put them in a box. Again, like the doll syndrome. I want you to do everything I want you to do. I'm going to put you in this box. I want you to dress how I want you to dress. I want you to move how I want you to move. I want you to do everything I want you to do. But then what happens is when that child gains independence, when that child gets when they don't no longer need you for survival, they're going to go away from you and they're going to get away from you. They're going to get away from you. They're not going to want to be around you because then you're going to be mad at them, and that love, that conditional love that you've been instilling in them from the time that they were little and told them you can't express yourself. The only way you can express yourself is if I approve of it. And if I don't like it, you can't do it. You can't do it until you're 18, but around 16, right? 15, a little independence is acquired. And now they're not doing what you want them to do. They're not moving like you want them to move. They found ways to make money and they can buy their own clothes. And you still have a sense of control over them at 14, 15, and 16 and 17. They haven't got to 18 yet. And now they're not doing. Now they're saying no to you. And now that conditional love, now you want to throw them away. Now you want to throw the doll away because the doll is not doing what you want it to do. It's not dressing how you want it to dress. It's not saying what you want it to say. Y'all do not do your children any good by not allowing them to express yourself. And then I saw some people, well, if my daughter wanted to wear some booty shorts, no. Don't go to the extreme. You're trying to compare a 4-year-old wearing a pink ladybug costume to a young woman wanting to wear her ass out. Well, I just want to express myself. Yes, but you also have to be safe. Because while you want to express yourself, we live in a world where men don't have consequences for harming women. And the law is only keeping them from harming you, little girl. Okay? So there's a way that you can explain things and that are age appropriate. So if you do have a 15-year-old who wants to wear a short skirt, you have to let her know what lurks and what is waiting for her in the wings. And these men that y'all protect in your community and you have allowed to roam their community, they waiting for her to get out there and you know it. The only thing keeping them from her is the law. And you protect them. And you blame her when she goes out and she wants to express herself. You've allowed the terrorists to roam free. So your children can't even express themselves safely. Bobby does his song called Judgment. It was cute or whatever, you know. Erica goes and sits down. Safaree sits by Erica and he tells her to back up. She's like leaning up like this and he's sitting back in his chair. She's right next to him. He was like, sit back. Sit back. She was like, sit back for what? What are you talking about? Like looking like, what are you talking about? Trying to dominate, trying to maintain control over a situation. That's all that is. Sit back. She was like, sit back for what? He was like, I would never do that to you. She was like, you have done worse to me. Shut up. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Shut up. I was with her like, girl, shut up. So she gets up and she walks away. He gets up, he walks away. He walks by Shakana. He's looking all sad and stuff. And he says he wants to work on his marriage. Cisco runs up and tries to talk to Safaree again and tells Safaree he wants to meet him at the beach. You know, it's not a good time right now, but, you know, I want to talk later. I'll meet you at the beach tomorrow around 12 or 1 or something, he said. So Amina goes over there to talk to Peter. And he tells her he feels it was malice. He feels like what she did was malicious. Tara, they said, Tara, maybe you need to go over there too. So Tara walks over there. When Tara starts getting closer, she says, you know, I'm not going to have anything to say to your child, I'm not going to have anything to say about your parenting. Then Amina starts getting like riled up. Like you could see, it looked like she was about to faint. Like she was getting herself riled up. I will never say anything about your parenting. I was like, Amina, your head is about to explode. Calm down. Let me tell you, the only thing that Amina needed in that moment was someone to hug her. That's it. Because what she was, to me, what I was seeing was somebody being told to be quiet, right? And she said it. There was a time when Peter can tell me to be quiet, and I just did it. So all of what she was doing was an act of rebellion to say, you can't make me shut up. But she was getting so overwhelmed with emotion. And then her voice, even Peter was like, her voice just got louder, like it was screeching. And I was like, oh my God, Amina, calm down. Somebody needed to take her and hold her and just hold her, not restrain her, right? Because if it was restraint, she would resist. Somebody needed to hold her and comfort her. And all that pulling that y'all do when people are in conflict, it doesn't do anything but aggravate the person and they want to go the other way. You have to hold them, not restrain them, but comfort them, because the nervous system is like this right now. Amina's nervous system is like this. So her nervous system needs to be comforted. She would have totally calmed down if Erica wasn't pulling on her, right? But people don't know anything. You know these things by doing the work, right? And reading and learning and going to therapy. You learn these tools, right? If I was there, I would have just went up to Amina and comforted her and like embraced her around. That's all she needed. That, and she would have, all that hollering and screaming would have came all the way down. Amina was like, okay, I'm trying to talk to you. Stop yelling. Stop yelling. She was doing that yelling. But again, it was an act of rebellion. And as ugly as it sounded, and as like, it was just like, damn, Amina, that is somebody saying, you're not going to silence me. And you're not going to silence me because this man has been able to do that. He had so much control over me. He was at one point able to silence me. She's walking backwards. He had control over me. I couldn't talk. I'm so glad that I don't have a son with Peter, because it would be hell. She meant that shit too. She meant that shit because, like I said earlier, if Amina's daughter wanted to be a lumberjack, they would not have no problem going out and finding the axe for her and a piece of wood, so she can walk around and have her lumberjack and have her axe hanging on her back with her Timbs and stuff. They wouldn't have a problem with that. But the little boy wants to be a ladybug. That's a problem. So imagine, and she said it, and we said it last week. If he's doing one kid like that, he's doing them all like that. He's doing them all like that because clearly he's not a parent who is operating from a space of understanding that each and every one of his children are, one, not an imprint or his little fingerprint to be like him, but two, that each of them are individuals and have their own personalities. But he doesn't know that. He's going to stand on, that's the hill I'm going to die. I don't give a fuck. My son can't wear no pink ladybug costume. That's the hill I'm going to stand on. Sin and Booby, she says she's scared. He doesn't want to do a boyfriend and girlfriend thing. Sin, read the Yelp reviews, call Keisha Cole, ask her how her dining experience was, take that into account, and then proceed. Because I don't want to do that boyfriend and girlfriend thing, what do you want to do then? Because that's how it starts. I don't care if, a boyfriend, girlfriend sounds so juvenile. Well, that's what it's called. Well, we going steady? So what are we doing? We go together? What you trying to do, booby? Play these games. All you really want is that Spanish pocketbook. That's all you want. That's all you want. And after you get it, after the mouse, you like a little cat hitting the mouse. Hitting the mouse. And when the mouse give up that cat, you done with it. Honey, we know the game for generations. For generations. And I don't know why women act like they don't know. It's cat and mouse. And when the cat has finally strangled your cat, It's done with the mouse. Okay? Cisco and Safaree go have a conversation. They're outside by the beach. He brings that shit up again. It's not only that. It's not only what you did, but it's something else that he said. He was coming up with something, but it was like you was trying to check him. You standing up. You not sitting down. Cisco, shut up. Just shut up. Safaree says, man, man, shut up. Safaree took his glasses off. They started fighting. Shakana, baby, all I tell you, when they pan the camera up and Shakana's leaning over the damn balcony talking about this is a damn shame. They out there fighting. They out there fighting. So Safaree had enough of Cisco's shit. He's like, man, I ought to hit your ass right now. And then Cisco was like, do you want to talk about it? I'm about to hit your ass. Cisco liked to fight. Cisco said, I will fold your ass. Don't fucking play with me. Bitch, you done ran from Meek Mill. Don't fucking play with me. Don't play with me. I will fold you in half. This is not what you want. Bitch, when he said you throwing rocks at a tank, when he said that the last time, I was like, Cisco is really, have y'all seen how tall Cisco is? I did not realize Cisco was so tall. That nigga is tall and he's skinny. Now he's skinny, so he looks even taller now. Maybe because he was a little portly before. He didn't look so tall. But now he's like tall. His arm, little skinny baby 12-year-old arms, little giraffe arm, little Duval arms. Cisco got little Duval arms, child. So they got together. Stevie ran outside. Peter goes and runs to Safaree. He was like, he was like, what is going on? So Stevie tells Cisco that Safaree is going through stuff. And Peter tells Safaree that Cisco is going through stuff. So Cisco, he got a divorce. He hasn't seen his kids in months. He's going through it and taking it out on everybody else. Safaree, he's, cheating on his wife, not respecting her, never have respect for her. That shit is crazy. When I see Safaree and Erica, it's just like I'm looking at two people playing house. And the only way they know how to play house is to be toxic and unhealthy. They have no other tools. They haven't learned anything. And Erica is so annoying because it's like you are literally, like when I see them, it's like they're playing a game. It's like they're playing house, they're playing a game, and it's ridiculous, and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm like, all of that doesn't make sense. Y'all crying and acting like you mad and stuff. What you acting mad for? Yes, he sold you a dream, but you bought it. You bought it. You bought a dream. You bought a beach house in Idaho from Safaree. That's what you bought. So take a dip, girl. Amina and Peter talk again. Peter says, I regret saying that you cannot talk about my son. You don't need to talk about my son. You never have anything to say about my son. That's what he said to her when they were going back and forth. And he says, and I didn't mean that. We are family. And I told y'all, that's what I was just saying. They was just sister wives the other day. So you can't tell me that if our children are siblings and I see that their father is teaching one of them some toxic parenting, he's probably doing it to everything. I'm going to say something. Hey, y'all, that's not cool. He's making little Peter, he's saying that he can't wear a pink ladybug costume. Come on, y'all, that's not cool. Right? But instead, y'all want to protect him. Like, that shit is crazy to me. Instead of being like, you know what, that is harmful. Well, you don't say nothing about my kids. Ain't nobody talking about your fucking kids. Ain't nobody talking about your kids. Your kids gonna have their time with you when they get old enough. Trust and believe me. Trust it. Paris shows up. We see that Paris and God, what she get the lap band. She done lost all her weight. She came. They were so happy to see her. Zale was running. Zale was like, fuck everybody now. My friend is here. So they had a good time. Cisco and Safaree makeup. They were like, we both going through things. They shake on it or whatever. And then Erica was drunk and they were outside rapping and Stevie J was rapping a song about Erica and Safaree. And they were like, but you still married. And they thought that was funny. That's all. Like, people just, y'all think it's funny. Y'all think that stuff is funny and it's not funny, but you're still married. And what does that mean? What does it mean? They ain't doing nothing married people are supposed to do. I guess they are. I don't know. It's fake to me. The whole thing is fake. I don't buy Erica. I don't buy what Erica and Safaree are selling me at all. I'm not buying any of it. any of it. And then y'all brought 2 kids into this fucking fantasy land, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, into this video, because Safaree says life should be a music video. So you brought 2 babies into a music video. I don't trust nothing y'all giving. I believe that Erica is not going to let Safaree go. They're going, oh, we're a family and we're a family and all this other stuff. Anyways, y'all, that's pretty much it of the episode. Y'all let me know what you think of the episode. You know, like I said, Peter and Amina were going to eventually make up. They have children together. And you know, Tara and Amina, they made up. They hugged it out. And she was like, I just want to make sure we were good. And so they hugged it out. And, you know, she was like, we're family. And this, as long as we're good, you know, we have children who are siblings. I care about your children the way I hope you care about mine. You know, we're so close. Why can't I say anything about how Peter is parenting your son? That's practically my child too. Like, if that's the way if that's how it's going to operate, then you can't decide what I can and cannot say. I'm their mother too, practically. Like I said, they're sister wives. They probably know Amina. That's you know, they know who Amina is. That's their little sister's mom. Y'all acting like some stranger was in Walmart and was like, man, that's some homophobic shit. You ain't letting your son wear the ladybug costume. Nigga, shut up. Who the fuck are you talking to me about my child? That's different. But this is the lady that you have children with, and don't talk about my child. Don't talk about my child. Shut up. Shut up. And one thing all y'all black people need to do, stop using your kids as scapegoats to mask your homophobia, your femphobia, your xenophobia, your bigotry. Stop it. Stop it. Stop using these kids. Stand in your own shit. Stand in your own shit. Anyways, y'all, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.